Hi everyone, my name is Raf. I'm a lead AI strategist with Current, and today I'm excited to provide a quick demo about a team of digital workers that we have that is handling contract analysis and deal configuration into a CRM. Before I jump into the Current Supervisor, which is the main application that Current provides to have full visibility on a workflow of digital workers, I do want to set up some context about this demo. The goal here is to really help with the automation of contract review, going from offline fragmented coordination via email, Slack, and other channels to a seamless end-to-end AI workflow, going from high risk of human in the loop errors and bias because human are reviewing contracts and could make potential errors in terms of the contractual terms, the dates, etc., to an AI powered extraction with about 99.999% consistency. And also going from days of back and forth between various revenue share teams or business development folks or accounting or legal stakeholders to a near instant configuration upon the document being signed and uploaded. And last but not least, this is also moving from static PDF with data locked in silos into dynamic data mapping directly into the deal engines, which could be a CRM or an ERP. From a system perspective, this workforce is actually integrated with a PRM, partner resource management, but it can also be integrated with a CRM as well. And the whole goal is to actually interpret very, very detailed contractual terms such as start dates, end dates, revenue share percentage, various clauses, etc., and actually configure those contractual terms into a PRM or a CRM. So now I'm going to move into the Current Supervisor. As you can see here, I'm going to walk you through the flow here. So first, we start with a contract receiver. The goal of this agent is to receive essentially the contract that can be a PDF. It can be downloaded from Slack or directly from a source system such as an ERP, and start to essentially understand from a contract classification what this contract is about, and really understand, like, is this, like, for example, a licensing share agreement based on the different kind of business lines or the business context of the customer. And then you can see here, we can see the output of the decision that this agent made and explaining why they believe it's a license agreement contract type. And then here we start to move into the actual crux of the workflow, where we have sets of digital worker really starting to parse through this contract and extract critical, such as the various parties who has signed this contract, the title of the person that signed, all the renewal terms instead of in terms of duration, the effective dates, the currency, the payment terms, all the various obligations, etc. So really starting to truly dissect what this contract is about. Next, we're moving into the contract validator. So here, this is really about doing two things. One is to check that the person who signed that contract has the right signature authority. So various organizations have various thresholds based on seniority, titles, business functions, and certain folks can sign a contract based on how much it is and where they sit within the organization. So that's what this check workday kind of action is, to make sure that whomever signed has the actual authority, and it's actually through an API call. And then the second here, which is one of the most important, is the validation of the extracted data. So it's an agent that is essentially double checking that all the information that have been extracted from this previous agent here is actually accurate, and try to understand each of those critical information, make sense of it, and understand what's very critical versus what's kind of more informational into the contract. So as you can see, the severity, the field, the description, and also provided some potential suggestion as to whether or not this contract is sound and something should be did. And then lastly, this is about providing a report to whomever is the stakeholder that's this workflow and this team of digital workers is supporting. So they understand, they have like a brief report that essentially summarizes the critical terms of the contract for them in order to fast track and accelerate the review, so they don't have to read like pages and pages of documents in PDF. And that notification or that report is sent through Slack. And last but not least, we have the system updater agent the goal of that agent is to really update the partner portal, so that can be your PRM or a CRM such as Salesforce, or potentially lodging data into a GCS bucket or an S3 bucket if that data is consumed by another system. And so this is what the workflow is about. Now, something that is also very interesting with the supervisor is the ability to see critical metrics. So if you imagine that you're deploying this workflow for an enterprise customer or in an enterprise environment where there's a lot of velocity and a lot of volume of contracts, you can start seeing like the number of contracts ingested per day, potential number of business lines that are covered in terms of like which contract is supporting what business line. If there's like critical escalation requiring human attentions by the agent, by the workflow that I was just showing, because there is something that is really off with the contract and must be investigated by human, but also the processing time of the entire workflow. So as you can see below, 6 minutes here, and how it's kind of fluctuating based on the amount of document and the complexity, potential number of partners where the deals have been set up based on the contracts, as well as the amount of approval documents that goes with the contract, such as, you know, various policies and standard operating procedures. And last but not least, some of the type of the documents processed, as well as the potential number of human errors that have been caught in specific contracts, such as what I was showing with the agent that actually assessed the severity of some of the information on the contract and actually, you know, essentially pinpoint if something must be looked at and updated, etc. So overall, this team of digital workers is really around driving a contract review and deal configuration into a CRM or PRM at scale with near 100% accuracy in order to really fast track and de-risk complex contracting business processes, essentially. I hope you enjoyed the demo.